So here, this is Lord Potato, and well, welcome back into part 5? Question mark. Okay, you see here, yeah, 5. Yeah, part 5 of What If Naruto was a reincarnation of Jack Sparrow. Yes, this time I had to pause because I had to remember. Well, like not pause the video, like just have a pause in mind before saying it. But other than that, yes, this is part 5. So let me begin into what happened last time. Well, not a recap. I'm just gonna go into straighter. But before going into it, go subscribe to Emmett Sensei, Iconic What Ifs, Obito What Ifs. Links will be in the description. But other than that, let me begin. And yeah, so we go into Naruto. After Naruto defeating who is a fire user, the guy couldn't really stand up to Naruto. Reason why is because Naruto did always slash at him, or didn't even slash at him, just put armament hawking and knocking his ass out. This is where he could not use his fire because it always keeps getting neglected, or not neglected. Mostly, when he tries to use his fire, it kind of just gets destroyed by his armament hawking, by Naruto's armament hawking, which lead him up to getting defeated. So yeah. Of course, where Naruto thought that he was able to kind of use fire like a Logia type double fruit user, that he kind of knows a little bit. But I'll mention that later. This is where, well, Naruto says, whatever. This is where our next was Karumi, who is going against a girl with kind of just a civilian girl with brown hair and green eyes. Of course, Karumi appears towards her, kind of froze time, and was very impressed. Karasu actually saw this, and this is where Karumi kind of just like punched her a couple times and then disappears. Karumi is someone that just sometimes freezes time a little bit, but yeah. But this is where, well, she just stopped time and won. Yeah, basically just stopped time for the person, kind of won by knocking her out. This is where, well, next was Junko versus, her other teammate, well, not other teammate, another person. This girl has, well, white hair and blue eyes, and of course she smiles and says, "Hey, Junko, sorry about, well, the whole mixed match team, right? You don't hate me, do you?" Or not, what's it called, white hair, no, what's it called, like, black hair and bluish eyes. This is where, her name is Ayame. This is where she says, "You don't hate me, do you?" This is where Junko says, "No, I don't. I just want to break your bones." This is where, Ayame says, like, if you could. This is where Junko appears. It's sending an axe kick straight down towards, well, Ayame. Ayame dodges. Of course, the ground crushes underneath. And Karasu, for some reason, that strength kind of reminded him, well, basically looking at Junko, and that strength reminded him so much of Tsunade, the legendary Sanin. Tsunade Senju. And of course, this is where Junko seems to have the same temper. This is where she throws a back kick straight to Ayame. Ayame tried to block it with her arms. Of course, they felt when they're shattered, when they got hit by the kick. They felt like they shattered. And of course, she gets pushed away. This is where she's almost out of the circle, and Junko punches her in the face, knocking her out of the circle. This is where Junko says, "See, I won. Don't be so confident since you're from the Uchiha clan." This is where Ayame says, "I guess you became stronger." God damn it. You're a bitch, you know that? She kind of told Junko. Junko goes, She just like stick her tongue out. This is where Ayame says, so childish. Umi says, "Go, Ayame, Junko." This is where Naruto, who was just there, standing still, and kind of just using arbitration hawking. Well, mostly future arbitration hawking. Knowing who was already going to win. This is where, well, so of course Akina just says, "So Naruto, did you know who won?" Naruto says, "Yeah, it was Junko." This is where Akina says, "It seems that your arbitration hawking and seeing in the future is getting stronger." Naruto says, "Shut up and go fight your next match." Akina says, "Fine." Akina was going against a girl with blue hair, and of course, icy blue eyes. It was somewhat icy blue eyes. But yeah, this is where Ayame's sister. Well, also Ayame's sister named Umi. Umi goes against Akina. Akina pulls out. Well, she doesn't pull out her sword, but she does pull out her hands, puts them flat, and says no sword style, and rushes at Akina. Oh, not Akina, mostly at Umi. Umi tries to use ice style just because, yeah, she realized that Akina is going to use something, maybe dangerous or something. She knows that Akina is a samurai, and of course, this is where, with Umi managed to make an ice like a pillar. Of course, the ice pillar gets sliced, and this is where Akina just appeared, saying, "I'm sorry, Umi, but you're gonna need to get sliced. No sword style. Slash marks." This is where she appears behind Umi. Umi has 2 slash marks and an axe motion, and she doesn't cough up blood, but she just cough up spit. This is where she smiles and says, "At least Junko found good friends." This is where, Akina says, I guess so. This is where a bunch of people are amazed with the power of descaling with the, so-called ex-pirate, also known as Naruto Uzumaki, also known as Jack Sparrow. So of course this is where, they say that. Then the next, the next person they think about is Junko. Junko is from a clan family, but at the same time, she is smart, brilliant, and strong. But she seems to be very scary, just like Tsunade Senju. That's what Karasu thinks in his head. This is where the next person they think of is Akina. Akina is from a samurai clan family, and she is a samurai, which, she came from Iron Country, but no one really thought that she was going to be this powerful. Well, her weapons. Unknown to them, she was actually trained in somewhat no sword style. Who actually trained her was actually somewhat Naruto. Naruto knew a little bit about no sword style. He actually knew about it because of his, sensei and learning how to use, swordsmanship. Not from Shanks exactly, but from Mihawk. This is where, Naruto only teach her the basics and not learning how to use armament hawking. He did also try to train her in armament hawking, but it seems like she couldn't really much. So, of course, this is where, she just learned how to do no sword style. Now, of course, this is where, the other last person is, Karumi. Yeah. Karumi, who is the last person, and people thought she was strange, and they don't actually know about her abilities much, so, of course, they all just thought she was strange. Now, of course, she is very shy and embarrassing half the time, but yeah. This is where, they are all just a team of 4, but they really didn't expect this team to be overpowered. Well, they knew that Naruto might have been a little bit overpowered since the fact that he can knock out people with just one look, because they don't actually know about anything about Conqueror Hawking, Armament Hawking, or Opposition Hawking. And since Naruto has really advanced his Opposition Hawking to the point where he can actually, sense, attacks from like 4 miles away, yes, he actually managed to increase it that much. Thanks to Karumi. Karumi actually helps him in trying to, learn more about his Opposition Hawking by dodging kind of bullets. But yeah. So Karumi actually uses kind of a long rifle flintlock, which she shoots at Naruto. It's like a sniper rifle, and he can easily dodge attacks. This is where, that is happening, and of course Naruto is easily using Opposition Hawking to dodge attacks, so he can actually keep upgrading his Opposition Hawking. But yeah, of course, after the team, the little taijutsu matches was over, the next match, the next thing was the different jutsus. Naruto says multi-shadow clone jutsu, or not multi-shadow clone jutsu, shadow clone jutsu, which he puts out 2 perfect Narutos. And these 2 perfect Narutos can actually use Conqueror's Hawking, their own Conqueror's Hawking. It's not like chakra, so like this. It's not chakra, so of course it doesn't split between the users. So of course they have the same power level of using Conqueror's Hawking. So yeah. and armament hacking and observation hacking. That does not matter. So yeah. Of course, when they poof away, they do kind of give Naruto the knowledge and all that because they're actual fucking clones. Yes, Naruto found out do actual clones. Now you're probably wondering, where the fuck did he actually learn actual clones? Well, we go into a flashback of, well, him talking to Hiruzen. Hiruzen really felt bad, and seeing that Naruto is not learning anything about the ninja, well, system and other ninja things, that he just decides to give Naruto the Shadow Clone. And Naruto actually mastered it in just a couple of, well, 1 hour. Yeah, Naruto was actually a genius and realized that quality is better than quantum. So yeah. So he only makes 2 clones to actually have the same kind of power and all that. Because he realized if he just do quantum, he's going to lose. And lose too much chakra. Quality is the best. He realized that he can do more like, what's it called, clones? Like, he can make 20 clones and they will be all quality. Instead of making 2,000 clones and they are all just less than quality. So yeah. So of course this is where Naruto only does 2. Then there's the Henjutsu, which the 2 clones Henjutsu into very powerful swordsmanship. Or not swordsmanship, mostly swordsman. And that is one Shanks basically being red hair Shanks and the other one being Mihawk. Then the last person that Naruto transformed into was, well, a very powerful pirate that he heard in, well, the kind of pirate name. Mostly a very powerful pirate that he kind of heard about. And that was, well, Luffy. No, just kidding. He heard of, well, a very powerful pirate named, how should I say? You know what? No, he transformed into Jack Sparrow when he kind of got the thought. So yeah, of course, Karasu was very impressed and says, good. Next is substitution jutsu. This is where Naruto, he throws up a small like flint-like bullet, throws it to the wall, and this is where he says, what's it called? Substitution jutsu. This is where he appeared next to the bullet. Well, not next to the bullet. He switched his spot with the bullet. This is where the bullet was actually going towards him now instead of the wall because he substituted with that bullet. And Naruto grabbed it with armor and hawk and crushed it in hand. This is where Karasu was very impressed. Next was, well, Akimi, or not Akimi, but, well, let me say that again. Akina, next was Akina, and Akina can do everything pretty perfect. Her chakra control is extremely good because she's from a samurai clan and they have to do extremely good samurai, well, mostly controlling chakra because they use it on their swords. So yeah. Next was Junko, and Junko managed to do them perfectly. And of course, this is where next was Karumi, and Karumi managed to do them perfectly, but she was shy, very shy. This is where Karasu does give them all a heaven, and says that the team will start tomorrow, the team assignment, mostly. This is where, well, the next day happened, and well, the person that kind of walked through the door for team, well, team 21 mostly. Yeah, that's basically Naruto's team. Team 21. Karasu explains that all teams are this, but Team 21 contains of Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto Uzumaki / Jack Sparrow. That is the name that they kind of gave him. Junko Kojo. Yeah, Junko Kojo. And also, what's it called? Akimi Samurai. It was from the Samurai clan mostly. And also Karu, what did I call her? I forgot her last name. But yeah, of course, they will all be on Team 21. Jonin Sensei is Gojo Satoru. This is where, well, Naruto's confused, but he doesn't care that much. He wasn't expecting his team that was in the academy to be the same team that he will be in a ninja career. Of course, this is where Junko saw that maybe the teams were kind of too broken or imbalanced or whatever. But they kind of noticed that the other teams, for like the other ones in the classroom, kind of got changed. Except their team. Their team just stayed the same. Except for Umi's team. Umi's team contains Ayame and also someone named Suki. So yeah. So of course this is where that was happening, and of course this is where Naruto says, I guess the teams only stay the same if they were actually perfectly balanced of working together with each other. And so where Karasu, who wasn't there, but everyone did leave. This is where, they were wondering where the Jonin Sensei was going to appear. Then this is where Gojo appears by opening the door. And this is where Gojo says, sorry about being late, students. I'm only late by like 30 minutes. Sorry about that. I had to go find my younger cousin, who was right now in some graveyard bullshit, and was kind of being straight up annoying, so I had to drag his ass straight towards the academy to meet his goddamn student. Little brat really didn't wanna, but I managed to drag him. So don't worry about it. This is where Gojo smiles at all of them. This is where Naruto, he kind of looks at him. This is where all of them roll their eyes, and this is where Gojo says, but all of you can come now. Let's talk about your dreams, dislikes, goals, and likes. This is where, Naruto, who, they're not on the roof mostly. Well, they were going to the roof, and then when they go to the roof, they saw Kakashi and Kakashi's team. Kakashi's team contains of Sasuke Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha, and someone named, a girl with kind of brown hair, and kind of, not brown hair, white hair and like how should I say, so she had like short kind of white hair, and of course green eyes. She kind of had like this red near her kind of like eyelashes. Not. Let me say it again. She kind of had like this red eyelashes a little bit. Well, not red eyelashes, but red near her eyes. But yeah. But of course, Naruto. Not Naruto. Mostly this girl was there, and of course she seems to kind of like ignore Sasuke and Sasuke's presence. But yeah, of course, this is where Kakashi says, "Oh hey, Naruto." He kind of smiles at Naruto. Naruto ignores him, and this is where Gojo says, Kakashi, why did you pick the roof? Kakashi says, because I'm here to talk about my team, or talk to my team and all that. This is where Gojo says, okay, well, we're gonna go to another spot. This is where Kakashi says, why are you leaving? You know, there's a lot of room here. We can just talk here. This is where Gojo says, nah, I'm rather fine. Bye. This is where Gojo kind of tells his team to let's go to another place. And this is where Naruto kind of agrees, because he doesn't really like Kakashi that much. But yeah, this is where Kakashi sighs. But yeah, this is where Sasuke kind of tries to ask him something. And this is where Kakashi glares at her. And this is where Kakashi says, whatever, let's just start. This is where, we go into Gojo and Naruto's team mostly. Naruto explains that his goal is to become the Pirate King. His goal is to become the Pirate King. His dream is to become one of the strongest pirates out there and have a strong pirate crew. His likes are, his crew, not his crew, mostly his father's crew named Shanks and the others. And of course his sensei, his swordsman sensei is Mihawk, somewhat. Of course, he explains a bunch of things, like in the water and all that, being a pirate mostly. And of course, his food is this. He then explains maybe his team is one of them, but yeah. Of course, this is where he says dislikes are a lot of things, but arrogant people, this. And yeah. This is where, Gojo nodded. This is where the next person is Karumi. Karumi explains that her dream is to become a strong Kunoichi. Her goal is to be the master of time. Well, a very strong Kunoichi and master of time. Also, her likes are, her friends, Naruto, Sama. That's where Naruto says, this is where, what's it called? Karumi says, I'm sorry, Naruto, Junko, and Akina. This is where she explains about her food, but yeah. Of course, the word, she says, dislikes are arrogant people that are so mean to me, and blah, blah, blah. This is where Gojo nodded. This is where Akina-sen explains that her goal is to become a strong Kunoichi of, the samurai of her clan. and her dream is to become a very strong person so people can rely on in her family. And of course, her likes of this, mostly her friends, and of course, other things. But yeah, this is where she takes just like the arrogant people and other people like that. This is where Junko goes up and says her dream is to become a strong Kunoichi for her clan. A strong, well, yeah, that's her goal. Her dream is to become a strong Kunoichi to help her friends. And of course, where she then says, likes are this, 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 and, well, dislikes are other this. But yeah, it's similar towards what Naruto said, but yeah. But not like the whole pirate thing, but yeah. This is where, well, Gojo nodded. And of course, where, well, I thought, let me say something before I go on. I thought I had this pause and I was just going to be pissed, but yeah, because I had my eyes closed for a second. So, let me go back into what if. Gojo says, okay, so, let's, well, tomorrow will be the belt test, and I want you all to be in training ground 3. And I'll meet you there, and of course, well, just meet up around probably 7 through 8, a little bit, somewhere around there, 7 to 8. It's okay if you get there late, but I need to, like, figure out my cousin's little routine and what he's going to do. But don't worry about it. I'll be there in a couple of flash, maybe. Don't worry about it. This is where Gojo disappears, and this is where Kakashi, he finished up his, like, students' dreams, goals, and dislikes. He hates Sasuke, he hates Sakura, and he looks at the last girl, and the last girl kind of just doesn't really hate her that much at all. This girl's name was, well, Yuki. And of course, she had like a eye patch that covered up one of her green eyes. And of course, she had somewhat of like a face mask, like Kakashi. Which Kakashi was very impressed. It kind of confused him to kind of be like if he had a kid. Which Kakashi reassured himself he didn't have a kid. And this is where, when Gojo appears, he says, so, is your team gone? This is where Sasuke and Sakura already left. This is where Yuki didn't leave. Yuki then saw Gojo and Kakashi. This is where Yuki says, Kakashi-sensei. This is where Kakashi says, yeah, what do you want, Yuki? Are you going to be late, like, well, like before? This is where Kakashi says, of course not, I will not be late. This is where Gojo says, he's definitely going to be late, and I have to always keep an eye on him. So, reassure if he's late, I'm gonna have to beat the shit out of him later. But don't worry about that. What is your name anyway? Why do you look like my little cousin's, like, if he had a daughter? This is where Yuki says, I'm not his daughter. This is where, well, Gojo smiles and says, huh, interesting. I never actually thought that you will ever have a kid. This is where Kakashi says, she said she's not my daughter. This is where Gojo says, yeah, I can see it. You don't have green eyes. This is where Kakashi says, see? Yeah, that shows, this is where Gojo says, I'm not finished. She has green eyes, you don't have green eyes. She probably has a heart and will also like to train and become stronger. You have the motivation of being a fucking slowpoke. This is where Kakashi goes, ow. You will also never be able to pick up anyone. She'd be able to probably pick up anyone. Maybe even Naruto's heart. Don't know. This is where Yuki does not know about who Naruto is, but this is where Gojo says, but still, let's go, Kakashi. We're going to have a long talk about you being late. Kakashi gulps, but this is where he gets taken away, but yeah. This is where Naruto was going to ask Gojo for something, and this is where Naruto kind of like jumped up in the roof because he sensed the presence of Gojo. And this is where, well, Akina, Junko, and even Karin already went to somewhere else. But this is where Naruto says, hey, Gojo, where the hell did he go? He then looks at Yuki, and Yuki says, who are you? Naruto says, the name's Jack Sparrow, also known as Naruto Uzumaki, but call me Jack. That's where Yuki says, so you're Naruto. Naruto says, huh? Who are you anyway? This is where she says, Yuki, those two white hair people were kind of. This is where Naruto says, you also have white hair. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I'm a girl, Yuki says. But those two, one with lightish whitish hair and the other being silver hair, were talking, and of course, one got taken away, mostly my sensei, by another person. I'm guessing your sensei. Not Kakashi, Naruto says, I see. I guess I'll ask him the question later. Well, whatever. This is where Yuki says, so you're Naruto. Why did they say that I can probably take your, well, not take your, ask you and you will say yes. So Naruto says, ask me what? I don't know, ask them, I didn't really understand much. This is where Kurama goes into Naruto's mind and says, she's talking about a date. You know you should accept it. She seems very cute and all that. With that one eye. That mask to kind of cover. This is where Naruto says, shut up, you fucking perverted fox. When are you ever going to shut up in my mind? This is where Kurama says, never. I will always stay here. I will always be the fox to fill your mind with so many. This is where Naruto blocks him. Kurama says, you little shit, you're not supposed to. Naruto says, probably ask me about me being a pirate? Yuki says, I guess so. I don't know much. That's where Naruto says, whatever, but I gotta get out of here. See you then, Yuki. This is where Yuki nodded and just walked away, but yeah. This is where, well, Kurama managed to get out of the block zone of, well, Naruto managed to block him most of the time. And this is where Kurama says, you idiot! What did you do? Naruto said, what I did was just told her that I'm going back to my team, or going home mostly, but yeah. Kurama on the other hand says, you idiot. What I wanted you to do was whisper, whisper, whisper in Naruto's head, and Naruto says, why are you whispering? You can just talk normally. Fine. What I wanted you to... You blocked me again, you little shit! Naruto's face did turn red, but of course he just turned it back to being emotionless. But yeah, the next day happens, and of course it is the bell test. This is where Gojo says, but this is where Gojo appears like 30 minutes after being kind of like 8 and turning into 9, about being 9:30 already. This is where, well, they say he really was not lying. This is where, well, Naruto was like just sitting there. And of course, Gojo appears and says, sorry about being a little bit late, but I couldn't really find him, but I managed to find him. But, before we go, we're going to Training Ground 7, and we're going to do something else a little bit different, okay? This is where they're confused, but okay. They go with, well, Gojo towards Training Ground 7, and of course, where Kakashi says, you're going to go in an attempt to kill me, to take these 2 belts, blah, 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 blah. This is where Gojo appears and says, hey there, cousin. This is where Kakashi says, what are you? Did you finish your test? Gojo says, no. But, well, this test is going to be merged. If you're wondering, Team 7 of this team, if you're wondering what's going to happen, my team called Team 21 and your team, Team 7, is going to merge and going to try to help you in taking those belts from Kakashi. Now, there's no such thing as teamwork that much, so you guys don't need to ever train or teamwork together, blah, 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 blah. He's making a bullshit at the same time. Kakashi's widening his eyes. This is where, well, Gojo says, also, there's only going to be one high Jonin sensei, and that's going to be Kakashi. Me, on the other hand, is going to just watch. Okay, good luck. This is where even Team 20 was kind of confused. 21, Naruto, Akina, and Junko, and even, well, Karumi, they're all confused, but that happened. This is where Kakashi winds his eyes and says, you idiot. This is where Gojo says, begin. This is where all of them kind of rush, or mostly disappear. Naruto, he doesn't disappear. He appeared right there. This is where, well, he stayed his ground. And this is where Kakashi says, you're not going to... He almost got cut. His head almost went off his head. If he did not react with that speed. Naruto is right now rushing towards him with his own cutlass. And of course, it did transform into a black blade. This is where he swings his blade straight towards Kakashi. Kakashi pulls out a kunai trying to block the sword. But this is where the sword cuts through the kunai and was about to cut Kakashi's arm off. Kakashi managed to jump away, but this is where Akina appears, pulling out, well, one of her swords and about to cut his head also. This is where Kakashi dodges. This is where Kakashi is, okay, Gojo's team is not messing around. This is where Gojo felt like something's going to hit him. This is where he sees a leg coming down, and it's Junko. This is where Gojo was about to, like, disappear until bullets started appearing. Kakashi's trying to dodge and throwing kunai to kind of block the bullets. But of course, he sent mostly kunai that had a, what's it called? Like a, like, how should I say, a smoke bomb. And of course, that happened. This is where Kurumi says, damn it, I lost sight of that. Junko smashed the ground and cracked it. This is where Kakashi was actually found out because he kind of got thrown up in the air from getting launched up from the rubble. This is where Naruto appears, kind of flying up in the air and having this aura of kind of having like this, dark purple aura appearing behind him and swinging his cutlass and trying to slash at Kakashi. Kakashi substituted, but this is where the, log just was cut clean. This is where Kakashi winds his eyes and says, God damn it. How am I going to be dealing with these brats? This is where Yuki says, well, you can try to deal with them, but you can't deal with me. This is where she throws multiple super kunais. This is where Kakashi won his eyes and started trying to dodge. This is where, why not Yuki? Her name, I'm going to change it from Yuki towards Selena. Or, not Selena. Let me say it again. I'm going to call her Selena. Reason why? Well, there's going to be a reason, but yeah. This is where those kunais were silver, but Kakashi won his eyes. He was wondering why they silver. And this is where the silver kunais missed him, but this is where they turned to dust. And then appeared to be like some kind of being able to transform to dust and then become back to matter. This is where, Selena appears, grabbing the kunais that were already turned to dust and turned into a sword and tried to slash him. This is where Kakashi dodges. This is where Kakashi says, damn it, she's strong. This is where Akina appears trying to slash at him with her two swords. And this is where Kakashi is trying to dodge. But this is where Naruto appears, pulling out his flintlock and trying to shoot him. This is where Kurumi also tried to shoot him. And of course Kakashi then just pulled out his headband and using the Sharingan. This is where he went through hand sign so fast. And it's like, fire style, fire blizzard spin. This is where all of the fire appears. But this is where Naruto cuts through it and appears, punching him in the face. This is where clocking him in the face. This is where Kakashi was clocked in the face. He widened his eyes. This is where he realized that the armor and Hawking can really cut through chakra. This is where Akina and Kurumi appears. Kurumi shooting bullets at Kakashi. Kakashi tried to dodge, but this is where Naruto grabbed him from the arm and pulled him straight. Kind of just grab him. This is where Kakashi got shot in the leg because he tried to, substitute, but Naruto grabbed him from the arm, making sure that he wouldn't substitute. And this is where Akina appears slashing at Kakashi. Kakashi's right now bleeding from the chest and all that. This is where Kurumi, not Kurumi, Shunko and Selena sends multiple super kunai straight towards Kakashi, stabbing him in one arm, and then Junko kind of kind of smashing her leg straight towards Naruto, but Naruto disappears. And this is where Kakashi's other arm kind of cracked by a million pieces. This is where Kakashi said, holy shit, this pain. This is where he's looking around trying to find a way out of here. This is where Naruto pulled out a flintlock and put it towards his head, saying, if you move, I'll blow your brains out. We won and you lost. This is where Kakashi says, damn it, if only Gojo didn't do this whole bullshit teamwork. Now, of course, Sasuke was still in the sidelines, thinking that Kakashi wasn't going to lose, but saw that he lost. And this is where, Sasuke was useless, but yeah. This is where Gojo says, well, team, good job, team. Or should I say, team and Selena. You girls and Guy actually did pretty good. It seems like you defeated my little cousin. But, how should I say? Kakashi, I might be taking Selena off your hands because she seems to be extremely good in my team. Since the fact that you can't really work together with a team that's kind of not willing to work with another team. I only wanted to see if your team is willing to work. Selena was the only one to not have that much pride. Unless the Uchiha, but with the other Uchiha and the Haruno, seems to really suck at that. So, I'm going to just take Selena off your hands and tell Hiruzen to put another person on your team. This is where Kakashi says, no. How about this? You give me Naruto. This is where Naruto says, hey, bro, I am not going on your team. I hate the Uchiha and I hate the Sakura and the Haruno. They were annoying when I first fucking met them, so I'm good. Kakashi goes, oh, hi. This is where Gojo says, you heard the boy. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna be leaving, okay? This is where, well, Gojo disappears with Kakashi, bringing him to Hiruzen. And this is where I'm gonna leave it off for, well, part 5. Yes, I know it's only 36 minutes. I just gotta go do something and other things. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and good night. Then I also gotta play Assassin's Creed. Potato!